Tonight on News 5 Live, Dangriga teachers mobilize in protest, even as the Prime Minister says it's time for the public service to make some sacrifices. These stories and more, including a special profile for Women's Month, coming up in tonight's newscast.
Hello. Okay, sure, I'll be there.
Hi, Mommy. When are you coming home? I really miss you.
Hearing the voice of our loved ones can always lift our spirits and make us feel whole again. With Smart's twice as nice promotion, prepaid customers who make 5 minutes worth of national calls on Sundays can enjoy 50% off, top double on all national calls for the rest of the day. Call your loved ones and enjoy half off all day long. Smart, bringing people together.
If we are only as strong as our families, businesses, institutions, and the communities that surround us, then by giving businesses the power to grow, entrepreneurs the ability to expand, and by giving our families the right to own something, the Belize Bank gives you the power to build a nation, our nation. Stronger together. The Belize Bank. Our country. Your bank.
Preventing the spread of COVID-19 at work requires that businesses of all sizes and sectors put safety and health first. Managers and employees should conduct risk assessments to identify critical areas and procedures that put lives and businesses in danger. Here are 6 tips for creating a safe and healthy working environment. 1. Identify potential sources of virus transmission. 2. Determine who might be infected and how. 3. Discuss and decide prevention and control measures. 4. Make sure the safety equipment being used is right for the situation. 5. Implement, communicate, and test measures. 6. Keep records, review measures, and update when necessary.
We must all do our part to slow the spread. A safe and healthy workplace is a better workplace.
For more information, visit www.covid19.bz. A message from the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the National Trade Union Congress of Belize in collaboration with the International Labor Organization.
That's the sound of fuel efficiency. Every day, every time, I choose Una Fuels powered with Dynamix. Uno, a brand committed with the future.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening. Welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, March 10th. I am Marlene Cuellar. This morning, educators from the South took to the streets of Dangriga in protest of a proposed salary cut for teachers and public officers. We'll show you the turnout and what the membership of the Belize National Teachers Union has to say on government's plan to shave their monthly wages by 10% over the next 3 years. But first, Prime Minister John Briceño weighs in on the firm opposition that the proposal has been receiving from the joint union's negotiating team. Another round of meetings was held on Monday afternoon, but by and large, the unions are against the idea of a reduction. According to Prime Minister Briceño, the public service is the only group of workers that has not given up a portion of its wages since the pandemic began last year.
Well, it is expected. Nobody wants a pay cut. Everybody wants a raise. But the reality is that presently we have 30% unemployment right now. We have underemployment, an unemployment rate of 38%. We have tens of thousands of Belizeans that are suffering because of the COVID-19 pandemic and the shutdown of the tourism industry. And the revenues from government has dried up. Of every tax dollar that we collect, we are spending about 83 cents on salaries. We simply don't have the money to be able to continue to pay. We have been borrowing to the tune of almost $1 million a day. We cannot continue to print money. If we go down that road, we're going to have hyperinflation, we're going to have a devaluation. It's going to be far worse. Well, for us, it's important for us. What is important for us is for the Belizean people to understand that all of us are in this together and all of us have to make sacrifices. In the private sector, those that are working, they will tell you that their salaries have been cut, they are working less hours, they are underemployed, but they are holding on to what they have. So now we are, by extension, now are asking our public officers and our teachers to help us to do the responsible thing. It is your tax dollars, our tax dollars that are paying them. And if all of us have been doing some form of going through some kind of hard time and doing what is necessary to survive, then they need to help us. Only the teachers and the public service have not done any kind of sacrifice.
The idea of a salary cut, despite the ravages of the COVID-19 pandemic on the local economy, seems to fly in the face of a recent campaign promise made by the People's United Party. As part of its manifesto, the PUP guaranteed an increase in the minimum wage. So how does the Prime Minister reconcile that with the looming salary cuts?
We have a 5-year plan, and you can't expect us to implement the entire plan in 100 days. I mean, there are a number of things that we have to do. But the first thing that we have to do within the first 100 days is to address the financial crisis that the country is right now, and to see how is it that we can correct it. And once we're correcting that and we have the economy going once again, we'll be able to do everything and more than what we have promised.
The Belize National Teachers Union is still devising a national response to a proposed salary cut by the government for teachers and public officers. But that did not stop a number of teachers in the South from converging in the cultural capital, Dangriga. News 5's reporter Dwayne Moody and cameraman Kenroy Michael were there to capture the action as the educators voiced their discontent.
No to the first proposal. We are saying no to the 10% salary cut for 10 long years. We already gave up 1 year of increment and they want us to give up another 3 long years. We say no.
A resounding no could have been heard from a distance as primary and high school teachers from Stan Creek came together for a motorcade through the principal streets of Dangriga. They are echoing the position of the Belize National Teachers Union on a government proposal.
The teachers of the Stan Creek district asked for a voice, and they're getting that voice to show that they are not happy and they are not accepting the proposed 10% salary cut for 3 years. Plus, in addition, the increment freeze for another 3 years. We have already given up 1 year. So that would be a total of 4 years. So that is why we are here. That's the only reason we are here. We are saying no to that first proposal.
The motorcade was about a mile long and also included a group of teachers from San Pablo Roman Catholic School in Toledo. The teachers say that they too have been affected by COVID-19 and a cut is unthinkable.
Our salary is small. We use some of our salary in the classrooms. And so this 10% that they're talking about taking from us is like our leftover for the next month. So that's going to be too much for us.
We have a right to speak up. Nobody asked me how I was impacted by COVID, and I continued to teach throughout this pandemic. I continue to have all my expenses plus incurred additional expenses for myself as a teacher to improve the kind of service I provide to my students. I do not appreciate a government telling me that no, I must take this 10% cut. What about them? What are they doing? All of them that enjoy all the privileges, the additional bonuses and things that they gain because of the positions that they hold. I don't get those benefits. I don't get some kind of subvention or anything having to do with fuel provision or my housing, my communication, all of it. Everything that I need to survive comes from that same salary that now they want to touch. I am not going to accept that. I have not stopped paying my taxes. They did not stop. They did not hold back taking my taxes.
While the group got the required permits from the police department to carry out the motorcade, there were efforts made to prevent the protests from happening.
Whenever people want to voice how they feel, many times they are threatened and there are lots of efforts to keep them quiet. But we are here this morning to say that we will not be quiet. Yes. It didn't work with us and it's not going to work with the teachers from the Stan Creek district. We are here this morning to prove that they tried. They are still trying. They are still trying, but remember, even Jesus had opposition, right?
But are the teachers being unreasonable given the current state of the economy? Efasina Efunyeme and Denise Henry say that they are open to negotiation.
When we have a government that looks at all possible situations, all alternatives, and when it then appears that we are all sacrificing equally, equitably, of course, we are not unreasonable people, but come with something that shows that we are all taking this pinch together. Don't just look at me because I'm an easy target for you. You think I'm an easy target, so now you want to touch my salary. What about your salary and all the other things that you enjoy?
There are many options, many things to look at. So I don't really want to divulge into that at the moment, but all we are saying today is that we will have to negotiate. So we are saying no to the first proposal, but we are not saying no to negotiation.
The teachers have registered their discontent with executives of the Belize National Teachers Union. Dwayne Moody for News 5.
The 2021 budget is 2 weeks away from being presented in the House of Representatives, and the Briceño administration is still tying up loose ends ahead of its reading. It is anticipated that the financial plan for the fiscal year beginning April 1st will be lean, as all efforts are geared towards economic recovery. Prime Minister Briceño told the media today that the budget reading is delayed for the sole purpose of getting input from all of government's social partners.
The consultations have been extensive. I have met with the Chamber of Commerce, the Business Bureau, the Council of Churches, the NGO, the network of NGOs, the agro-productive sector, people in tourism. And now we've been meeting with the Public Service Union, the Teachers Union, the Senior Public Service, with as many people as we can. First, what we've been doing is explaining to them what is the situation. And then now secondly is to be able to tell them, well, this is what has to be done to be able to move the country forward. And that is where we are. We should have presented our budget this week. But because of the negotiations with the unions, because we've been negotiating and meeting with them in good faith, we are extending the discussions with them so that we will be presenting the budget, I think, is next week, Friday, the 26th of March. We then will have the budget debate. I think it's going to be the 8th of April, 2 days, the week after Easter. So we will not be having a budget way into the middle of April. And the only reason we're doing that is simply because we want to ensure that we're acting in good faith and trying to get the unions to understand what we're confronting right now, and hoping that they will join us in what we're proposing to them as we present our budget next week Friday to the Belizean people.
Coming up, the former Prime Minister and his wife joined the line to get their COVID-19 vaccinations.
Started getting ready for Easter yet? If not, to get the cash you need to hit the road, take a sip, and kick your feet up for your Easter adventures, apply online at quickstoponline.com or head on over to your nearest Quick Stop branch for the cash you need. As a first-time customer, enjoy your holidays with no payments until April. Offer ends March 31st. So let's get you Easter ready with a no-hassle loan from Quick Stop Personal Finance Center.
DG and the National Bank of Belize are proud to partner with the government of Belize to facilitate the disbursement of Belize COVID-19 cash transfer funds via our safe and easy-to-use mobile pays platform. After getting approval that you will be a beneficiary of the relief funds, you will be informed by SMS when your monthly payment has been deposited to your mobile pays account, which Digistore or National Bank branch you were assigned to, and when you can go in to collect. You must bring along the phone that the notification was sent to in order to present your account number and to receive your validation code and SMS receipt. You must also bring along a valid Social Security card. After your information is verified, you will receive a validation code which you are to give to the agent. The agent will hand over the full amount of funds allotted to you for that month, and you will receive an SMS receipt with a unique number for that transaction. Digi and the National Bank of Belize are committed to the development of innovative services for the benefit of all Belizeans.
la pandemia de la COVID-19, un lugar de trabajo seguro y saludable es un lugar de trabajo mejor. Esto reduce el riesgo de transmisión del virus entre trabajadoras, trabajadores y clientes. Los lugares de trabajo inseguros agravan los problemas durante la pandemia. Aumento de la carga de trabajo, jornadas laborales más largas, aislamiento, violencia doméstica, estrés, ansiedad y depresión. Trabajar de manera segura protege a las personas, permite seguir operando y mantiene a las comunidades saludables. Usted puede hacer la diferencia siguiendo los siguientes pasos: usando máscaras para cubrir boca y nariz, respetando el distanciamiento físico de 6 pies, lavándose las manos con jabón durante al menos 20 segundos, siguiendo instrucciones y señalización de seguridad y salud, quedándose en casa si está enfermo, diciéndolo si no se siente seguro.
It takes all of us to slow the spread. A safe and healthy workplace is a better workplace.
Para obtener más información, visite www.covid19.bz. Un mensaje de la Cámara de Comercio e Industria de Belice y el Congreso Nacional de Sindicatos de Belice en colaboración con la Organización Internacional del Trabajo.
We all know the importance of running water and proper drainage in your home. That's why we rely on a fully functional plumbing system. At Benny's, we have all the plumbing supplies and accessories you need. Our pipes, fittings, valves, and adapters are made from durable quality materials. Remember to wash your hands with clean running water from your faucet. We have kitchen and bathroom faucets in various styles and finishes. Whether for installation or maintenance, make sure to use recommended PVC cleaner, solvent, and Teflon tape to fix or prevent leaks. We also have the tools to get the job done. For all your residential, commercial, or industrial plumbing needs, shop at Benny's. Quality and savings.
A new Belize City Council takes over at City Hall following a ceremony this morning in which 10 councillors and a returning mayor were administered the oath of office. The People's United Party continues to revel in its huge win at the polls last week by celebrating the occasion at the Biltmore Hotel. Before family and friends and senior party officials, each councillor candidate was made official. News 5's Isani Kaitano has the story.
I, Bernard Wagner,
being duly elected as a member of the Belize City Council,
being duly elected as a member of the Belize City Council,
do solemnly swear
that
I shall at all times,
to the best of my ability,
exercise the powers and perform the duties of my office
exercise the powers and duties of my office
in the best interest of the residents of Belize City,
in the best interest of the residents of Belize City,
in accordance with the Constitution,
laws and regulations of Belize and Belize City.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Led by two-time Mayor Bernard Wagner, a new Belize City Council was sworn in today, following an overwhelming victory for the People's United Party in last week's municipal elections.
Today we pause amidst the daily, almost Herculean task of keeping our city clean, of trying to ensure that our city is one of the safest and best places in the world to live, and of continuing to construct this beautiful nation of ours to celebrate the inauguration of the Belize City Council 2021-2024. We have labored mightily the past 3 years and have had to sacrifice and hold tight the past 12 months, particularly, but through the worst health crisis in living memory. With sweat and sacrifice, we have strived to ensure
and with a loud voice said that they wanted to see Bernard Wagner and the 10 councillor candidates of the People's United Party back to City Hall. But first, I think we must thank, we'll never forget, we must thank the Belizean voters for this clear mandate. Never did we ever thought that we would have going to be, 65 out of 67. And we lost our mayorship by a little over 50 votes. Another councillor candidate by 10 votes. It could have been a complete wipeout.
The realization of the PUP's campaign efforts and its return to power is only just the start of its master plan to transform the country. The task now lies squarely with the councillors who have taken their oath of office for the next 3 years.
We can say that it was not just victory for democracy and the PUP, but it was also a commitment to our Plan Belize. And so to all of you councillors, my first instruction to you as your party leader, and yes, as your Prime Minister, is that you need to become familiar with Plan Belize. Your work is to make Plan Belize a reality for the residents of Belize City. This means that you must first help us with our efforts at defeating COVID-19 in Belize City. Your efforts should be to help us create jobs in Belize City so that we can get our people back to work.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isana Cayetano.
First, it was frontline healthcare workers from COVID-19 units across the country. And now it's time for another vulnerable group as the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine really kicks off. Over the weekend, government acquired an additional 25,000 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine from the government of India. Since then, the Ministry of Health and Wellness is calling on all persons 60 years and older, as well as those with special conditions such as HIV, cancer, and renal failure, to visit designated COVID-19 vaccination centers across the country to get their first dose. News 5 headed over to the Cleopatra White Polyclinic on Princess Margaret Drive, where some familiar faces were getting their jab.
Former Prime Minister Manuel Esquivel and his wife Kathy were among those who came to the Cleopatra White Polyclinic for the administering of their first dose of vaccine against the deadly COVID-19.
I'm still waiting. I didn't feel anything.
Will you feel more secure now, knowing that you're at least halfway safe?
I feel fine. I have no problem.
The process was very efficient and takes just about 20 minutes. An individual arrives at the clinic where his or her biodata is recorded, and after a short wait, depending on the amount of persons within the vaccination center, you enter to get your jab. You are then monitored for 15 minutes to see if there's any adverse reaction to the vaccine. If there isn't, you are then free to go until your scheduled second dose in 6 to 8 weeks.
They're very professional. Nurse Gallego is wonderful. You don't feel a thing. They tell you what you need to know. Very professional.
While the couple got vaccinated today, the Esquivels have been very proactive in ensuring that they stay safe during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Well, we're very careful about meeting. We don't go out anywhere. We don't mix with people that are not in our immediate household. When I go shopping, Mr. Esquivel waits in the car because I don't want a lot of people coming up and talking to him. After he gets his second vaccine, then it'll be okay. So we try, and my employees, I harass them to keep their masks on.
Any advice to those who maybe at this point in time are still contemplating whether they would come out to get vaccinated?
Well, I think you need to educate yourself. Certainly don't listen to fake news. Get your information from people that know. Don't get your information from people that really don't have any expertise.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Shots continue in Belize City, and those over 60 in Belmopan can go to the Civic Center between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. for theirs. Be sure to take your Social Security card. After the break, the Commission of Inquiry continues. Stay with us.
Less than 3 decades ago, the idea of sending and receiving money using mobile devices seemed odd, as everyone enjoyed the convenience of cash payments for everything they needed. Fast forward to today, this is turning out to be the norm. Phil uses eCash throughout his day, as it fills many gaps left open when transacting with cash. He chooses eCash for many of the benefits it provides. Convenience and flexibility. There is no need for bank accounts or standing in lengthy lines when paying bills. eCash is used to make instant payments right from your mobile device. Managing personal finances. Instead of noting expenses on paper, eCash allows users to check their account balance and transactions directly in the app. Increases access points to cash in and cash out money. There is no need to worry if a bank or ATM is in the area. Users simply visit one of many retail operators to add or withdraw funds from their eCash wallet. Ability to transact, pay back friends and family. Thanks to the person-to-person capabilities of eCash, users can pay back or split bill with friends and family or co-workers. These transactions are completed in just one step and are immediate. More payment options. Users are able to transact in-store or online via social media channels without carrying bulky cash or cards everywhere. Payments are now direct and always instant. Take advantage of loyalty programs, special offers, and coupons. eCash gives users immediate access to find the best deals and receive rewards from their favorite merchants. Users can make purchases without leaving their mobile devices. As the payment needs of businesses and their customers continue to evolve in Belize, eCash will no doubt play an important role in providing alternative payment options in the financial space. Next time, Ashanti will be telling us all about her experience with eCash. eCash, powered by Belize Bank, will make payments faster, easier, and a whole lot safer.
A workplace that is healthy and safe protects you and those depending on you at home. Prevent the spread of COVID-19 at work by following these steps. Always practice safe and healthy habits, like keeping your work environment clean and disinfected. Adapt working conditions and methods to reduce the risk of infection. Use personal protective equipment properly at all times. Speak up if you do not feel safe, because your safety and health is the priority. Frontline workers are exposed to a higher risk and need particular attention. Cooperate with and support them.
It takes all of us to stop the spread. A safe and healthy workplace is a better workplace.
For more information, visit www.covid19.bz. A message from the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the National Trade Union Congress of Belize in collaboration with the International Labour Organization.
Preparing for the club, y'all gonna get it up like house. Yeah, the night is going fine. All the ladies on the dime like house. Let's chase and raise it up. No, we cannot get enough like house. Shine on with Lighthouse Lager.
Welcome to Belize Medical Associates. As we embrace the new normal, we aim to do everything possible to ensure that our patients and staff remain safe. We not only ensure that everyone sanitizes upon entrance, but we also do temperature checks and screening, as well as daily sanitization of the entire compound. Your health and safety are paramount. With over 30 years experience in providing healthcare, we strive to remain the leader in expert quality care by offering over 26 experienced doctors that provide specialist clinics, as well as a fully stocked pharmacy with a qualified and courteous staff that is ready to serve you. You can now refill your prescriptions by sending a photo of it via WhatsApp to 653-1042 and pick up the following day. Or you can take advantage of our curbside pickup service. We boast not only a fully digital imaging center with the most modern technology in our MRI and CT scan services, but also one of the most accurate and efficient laboratory services in Belize with our state-of-the-art instrumentation and qualified personnel. Having recently acquired the MindRay BS480 clinical chemistry analyzer, this fully automated equipment has the capacity to conduct over 500 tests per hour, a first of its kind not only in Belize, but the entire Caribbean. At BMA, we stand ready to serve you. Our ICU and trauma units remain fully equipped and functional as we continue to provide 24-hour emergency care. Call us at 223-0303. We at Belize Medical Associates encourage all to keep the faith and remain vigilant in our fight against this pandemic. We will get through this together. Belize Medical Associates. We do care.
The saga of the 2020 Toyota Tacoma, which was assigned to former Minister of Lands Hugo Pat, continued today before the Commission of Inquiry. Appearing as witnesses this morning was Vencio Herrera, in whose name the title of the government vehicle was transferred, and Ivan Leyva, Deputy Commissioner of Lands. Both men were part of a series of transactions in which the late model pickup truck ended up in private hands after the Ministry of Finance's Vehicle Care Unit wrote it off as unserviceable. Herrera went to great pains in attempting to explain his role in the purchase of the vehicle, but the question is whether or not Corozal North Area Representative Hugo Pat violated the Constitution of Parliament.
It is a contract with the government, and the question I put to him was whether he was concerned about that, and that concern informed his decision to put the contract in the name of Mr. Herrera. That was the substance of the question. But did not the approval in his own name. He put Mr. Jovencio. He caused it, eventually was issued, and I'm not making a determination on that. Mr. Jovencio certainly told us today he didn't have anything to do with it, but the letter was issued in Mr. Jovencio's name, even though referred to it as a request for purchase by Hugo Pat. So the obvious question was, why was it necessary to put it in somebody else's name? If you were concerned, the question is whether or not he was concerned that putting the contract in his name would disqualify him from the House. And when you look to the relevant provisions of the Constitution, both qualifications for the Senate and the House, a contract with the government, and the language is, and I quote, for or on account of the public service. And it doesn't say what kinds of contracts, it says any contract. It can be the subject of disqualification.
Likewise, the question of hiding titles behind someone else's name was also raised, since it gives the impression that the transaction was dubious from the beginning. Here's how Senior Counsel Andrew Marshalek, Chairman of the Commission of Inquiry, responded.
What you're doing here is putting it in the name of another to deceive. I would say it's different. One is not wanting to deceive, so just somebody else owns it, and I have nothing to do with it, when that's the furthest thing from the truth.
Okay, and then I was just wondering, you were not interested in finding out whether Mr. Herrera conducted any land transactions on behalf of Mr. Lee at the Lands Department, whether he had any discussions with the minister who he claimed as his friend in relation to land and whether he himself ever transferred
I
land
think
to anyone.
yeah, I think those things are worth looking into. But what we sought to do was to limit the inquiry into the land transactions having a connection to the vehicle.
Coming up, online learning can be hard to do on your own. See how one organization is reaching out to kids across the digital divide.
Start your year with a win with Bellikin and its new promotion, Papa Stopper. Yes, sir. Every time you pop one stopper off our Bellikin, make sure you check under the crown. If you see one bottle shape, you win one free Bellikin. If you see one ball, you win $20. If you see one star, you win $100. And once you see one diamond, you win $1,000. Sure, Bellikin again, you know. Papa Stopper. When you pop a stopper off a Bellikin, check to see if you're a winner. You can collect your free beer or $20 cash prize at the store nearest to you. If you win $100 or $1,000, redeem your prize at the nearest B&B sales center.
Promotion is valid until Saturday, March 27th or while supplies last.
Papa Stopper!
Bellikin, the beer of Belize.
Congratulations to our Bellikin Papa Stopper winners to date. Continue popping those stoppers off of Bellikin for a chance to win free beer, $20, $100, or $1,000.
Papa Stopper!
Bellikin, the beer of Belize.
Un lugar de trabajo seguro y saludable protege a usted y a los suyos en su hogar. Todos debemos implicarnos y cumplir con las medidas para prevenir el contagio del virus. En el lugar de trabajo, practique siempre hábitos seguros y saludables y mantenga los lugares de trabajo limpios y desinfectados. Adapte las condiciones y métodos de trabajo para reducir el riesgo de contagio. Utilice correctamente y en todo momento el equipo de protección personal. Si no se siente seguro, dígalo. Su seguridad y salud es la prioridad. Los trabajadores de primera línea están expuestos a un mayor riesgo y necesitan una atención especial. Coopere y apóyelos.
It takes all of us to stop the spread. A safe and healthy workplace is a better workplace.
Para obtener más información, visite www.covid19.bz. Un mensaje de la Cámara de Comercio e Industria de Belice y el Congreso Nacional de Sindicatos de Belice, en colaboración con la Organización Internacional del Trabajo.
Currently, we're using Smart Elite Vibe Calling Plan. We use it interbranch, we use it to call outside, and we also use it to call international. It's far cheaper than what we used to have before. Our new PBX box is new. So the PBX is very good because I can call to my Sartaneja branch, I can call to my Kikaka branch, I can call to San Pedro branch, and there's no cost using the PBX. Actually right now, since we're in different locations, I can call main office from where I am at a no cost using the PBX system. I would recommend it, sure I would, especially the big enterprises who has a lot of employees. There's a lot of reduction in costs, 50% of saving. But that on a year, it's a lot of money that we're saving. Money that we could return to our members, since we give back dividend to our members.
Visit our showroom or call 670-6710 to find out how Smart's corporate plan and PBX systems can benefit your business. Consultation is free.
Do you know what is the COVID-19 vaccine? The COVID-19 vaccine provides support to help your body develop immunity to the virus that causes COVID-19 without us having to get the illness. It is safe and very effective. How does the COVID-19 vaccine work? Different types of vaccines work in different ways to offer protection. But with all types of vaccine, the body is left with a supply of memory that will remember how to fight the virus in the future. It typically takes a few weeks for the body to produce the antibodies after the vaccination. Types of vaccines. Currently, there are different types of vaccines. Each type of vaccine prompts our bodies to recognize and protect us from the virus that causes COVID-19. None of these vaccines can give you COVID-19. Some of the vaccines are Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna. Both are RNA types, part of the virus genetic code. They both need 2 doses. Sputnik V and AstraZeneca both are viral type, genetic modified virus. They both need 2 doses. Do I still need to practice safety measures after being vaccinated? Yes. You need to continue wearing your mask, washing hands, and practicing physical social distance. The vaccine reduces the severity of the COVID-19 infection. There is also evidence that the vaccine reduces transmission of the COVID-19 virus.
Early this morning, there was a 4-car accident on the George Price Highway near the Tropical Park community. And fortunately, no one was gravely injured. When a News 5 team arrived on the scene, commuters had stopped to render assistance to those involved, and an off-duty officer was directing traffic. Apparently, a pickup truck carrying fruits had experienced mechanical problems and parked on the road. While much of the oncoming traffic recognized the hazard and slowed down, several did not. In total, 4 vehicles, including a minibus, an Isuzu D-Max pickup, and 2 SUVs were damaged in the crash. Rainy weather and low visibility may have been a factor. Police and paramedics arrived on the scene to extricate the female driver from the pickup truck. News 5 spoke with fruit vendor Tyler Smith about what transpired.
The step not my broke off, bro, and the wheel come off right now. The wheel is roll up the back of the truck right now. It's big, right? Okay. Yeah. So we can move out with the foot here and around the curve so they can see. Two people may right behind me after the water one come with a ball of speed and he haul out and touch into the black people.
Also, you could be out with the wheel off and then and we could never realize it and they come and crash into each other.
The other 2 was behind us. Just like how the white one was there, the other one was back of us here and they were coming at full speed. The greenish, grayish red running to the black red over there. Yeah.
But nobody not get hurt.
Nobody not get hurt pretty much.
July, we told you how the Young Men's Christians Association moved its classes online to serve its population. But the institution, like many other places of learning, is facing tough times. They have had their budget cut and had to make changes to keep their doors open. Dr. Clara Cuellar is hoping that the public can help them with donations so that they can accommodate more students and keep the program running.
We are really down in money. We've cut every facet of our expenses with the assistance of our board. And so you find that we have a much smaller staff. We only have 4 people here, of which 3 are retired teachers and myself. So we do a lot. We do have the community help in terms of the young people who are here. 2 are on stipend. And so we're hoping that although we understand the need for government to do budget cuts, that we are not cut again because we were cut last year. And because we are serving, we have been one of the centers, and I believe one of the only ones, that have been open from May. The public can help again with technology. We need more UPSs because those are pretty expensive, and monitors. So the technology equipment is always something we can use. If people have a gently used monitor at home that they're not using because they're onto laptops, or if they can give a donation, they can give us the cash or they can purchase it and bring it in. Keyboard and mouses can be some of the things we need, but please make sure they're working. But our first priority are monitors and UPSs so we can house more children.
The conservation community has come together to observe Reef Week. While the pandemic has placed some challenges on how the week is being observed this year, there is still a jam-packed calendar of activities, from beach cleanups to social media trivia to virtual panel discussions. Communications Director Alyssa Carnegie tells us more about the activities that run through to Saturday, including an important virtual discussion on the blue economy that kicks off tonight.
This year's theme is "Through Ups or Downs, a Healthy Reef is Belize's Crown." And, really talking to the important role that the reef plays in all of our lives, whether we're aware of it or not, how it's been there to sustain so many livelihoods, even through a decline in tourism. The reef is there, it's feeding people, and still a source of recreation and enjoyment for many tourists, and now we're seeing increasingly locals. But we do have an incredible week-long list of activities that different partners have put together. We've had, cleanups going on in Placencia. We've had, I think today is the launch of an eco audit from Healthy Reef. There's been, working done on social media, trivia competitions, contests. Oceana is having Instagram competition as well, where you can win some really cool Oceana swag for participating. And we also have a Get Active for the Reef. So it's not really a competition, but really just trying to incentivize those who are already active, or those who need a little bit more motivation or incentive to get active for the Reef this week. And tonight we have, of course, something that we're really happy to bring to the Belizean public, a panel discussion moderated by our very own Janelle Sanuna on the blue economy, its opportunities and challenges. We have a great lineup of panelists. We have Minister Kirk Humphreys from the Ministry of Maritime Affairs and Blue Economy in Barbados. We have our own Minister Andrea Paris, Minister of Blue Economy. We have representatives from the Inter-Maritime Development Bank. Dr. Graham Watkins, I think he's the Division Chief for Climate Change and Sustainable Development, I believe, at IDB. We have, of course, our own partners here locally, Amanda Burgos from the Belize Audubon Society, Lisa Karn, Fragments of Hope. We have Melanie Paz and Tamara Snippen from the Belize Tourism Industry Association.
The Blue Economy panel discussion will start at 7:30 tonight and will be streamed on Reef Week's Facebook page. Reef Week has been observed in Belize since 2013. Coming up, fighting fires and gender stereotypes in southern Belize. The story of Eldora Rubio when we return.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, a safe and healthy workplace is a better workplace. It reduces the risk of infecting workers and visitors. An unhealthy workplace makes problems that are common to a pandemic even worse, such as increased workloads, longer working hours, isolation, domestic violence, stress, anxiety, and depression. On the other hand, a healthy workplace protects people, allows businesses to continue operations, and keeps communities healthy. You can do your part by following these steps. Wear a mask that covers your mouth and nose. Stay at least 6 feet away from others. Wash your hands with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Look out for and follow all safety instruction signs. Stay at home and away from others if you feel ill. Speak up if you do not feel safe.
It takes all of us to slow the spread. A safe and healthy workplace is a better workplace.
For more information, visit www.covid19.bz. A message from the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the National Trade Union Congress of Belize in collaboration with the International Labor Organization.
Research on the impact of COVID-19 infection on pregnant women is limited. Right now, pregnant women are at higher risk of severe illness than the general population. pregnancy can affect the way a woman's body handles respiratory infections. If you are pregnant, protect yourself against COVID-19. Wash hands frequently using soap and water for at least 40 seconds. Use alcohol-based hand sanitizer if soap and water are not available. Cover cough or sneeze with tissue and throw used tissue in a bin. Clean and disinfect frequently touched surfaces such as doorknobs, counters, phones, and tablets. Practice physical distancing. Work from home if possible. Avoid contact with anyone who has fever, cough, and cold or flu-like symptoms. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth without first washing your hands with soap and water. If you have fever, cough, and feel extra tired, call 0800-MOH-CARE. Help keep Belize safe.
Es un hecho que puedes obtener servicios ilimitados con Smart. ¿Cansado de que se corte la línea cuando más necesitas estar conectado? Es un hecho que cuando te suscribes al plan de Smart Plus, obtienes llamadas, textos y datos ilimitados. Y también es un hecho que te puedes suscribir con un grupo de 5 miembros al plan Smart Share y hasta 40 miembros al plan Smart Enterprise para llamadas, textos y datos ilimitados. Smart tiene los verdaderos planes ilimitados. Es un hecho. Sé Smart y vive de forma Smart.
Prevenir el contagio de la COVID-19 requiere que los negocios de todos los tamaños y sectores den máxima prioridad a la seguridad y salud en el trabajo. Los gerentes y empleados deben realizar evaluaciones de riesgos para identificar áreas y procedimientos que ponen en peligro las vidas y los negocios. 6 pasos para crear un lugar de trabajo seguro y saludable. 1. Identificar posibles fuentes de transmisión de virus. 2. Determinar quién podría estar infectado y cómo podría infectarse. 3. Discutir y decidir las medidas de prevención y control. 4. Implementar, comunicar y testear medidas. 5. Asegurar que el equipamiento de protección es adecuado para cada situación. 6. Mantener registros, revisar medidas y actualizarlas cuando sea necesario.
We must all do our part to slow the spread. A safe and healthy workplace is a better workplace.
Para obtener más información, visite www.covid19.bz. Un mensaje de la Cámara de Comercio e Industria de Belice y el Congreso Nacional de Sindicatos de Belice, en colaboración con la Organización Internacional del Trabajo.
Tonight, as we observe Women's Month, News 5 takes a trip down memory lane and gives you an update on one of Belize's trailblazers. As you will see, Eldora Rubio has led the way for change, extinguishing both gender stereotypes and dangerous fires for over 20 years. She's also pushed open the doors of a male-dominated field, providing access for other Belizean women. Andrea Palanco reports.
The year is 1999. The woman is Eldora Rubio. It was her first day on the job as the first full-time female firefighter in Belize.
The hardest part is, we say, like, this being in the sunlight for maybe 3 hours in a suit. That's the hardest part.
Yeah, the holes are not heavy?
They are heavy, but once you get used to it, you'll get accustomed to it. So to be as good as the other guys, to become like a professional there.
And firefighter Rubio became that professional, just as good as or better than the guys. Fast forward 2 decades, it's 2021. She's the fire safety officer with the Belize National Fire Service. This trailblazer has inspired other women to pursue a career in firefighting.
I've heard from 2 of the females, especially 2 of the females that are working, that I did motivated them when they first saw me, right? And that gave me a sense of accomplishment, right? And it helps me continue to reach this point. I was basically on my own for like the first 10 years or 5 years, after 2 other females that came in with me, they end up resigning a couple years after. So I was around, you can say, on my own for a few amount of years. And they tend to overlook you for those training, right? Because you're a female, you're considered the weaker link.
Rubio is anything but weak, and she'll tell you that those early years were tough. She wasn't welcomed as a firefighter and was often overlooked for training opportunities. After all, many of her male counterparts felt there was no place for a woman on the firefighting squad, but she was determined to become a career firefighter, not despite of, but because she was a woman.
1999, it wasn't that welcoming because firefighting was considered a male-dominated job. So about, you could say, more than 50% of them basically didn't want me here. Some of my colleagues that I've trained with, they didn't tell me it up front, but afterwards they told me if it wasn't for me, they would have quit the training. But I helped motivated them to finish because their thing is a female will not beat me. So they push themselves to finish. Throughout the years, I've proven myself. I showed them that I can carry my own weight, that I can do my work, and I gained their respect throughout the years.
How did you motivate yourself during those years?
The job. I fell in love with the job. So coming to work every day, expecting something different every day, you don't know what to expect when you come to work.
What is it that you love about this job?
The challenge. It's been challenging from the start, not only with the emergency calls that we go on, but the guys that you work with. Because eventually I became supervisor for some of them, right? And after a while, they came around and they learned to respect me.
There are 6 full-time female firefighters in the Belize National Fire Service, and the Ministry of Sustainable Development, Climate Change and Disaster Risk Reduction wants to recognize trailblazer firefighter Rubio.
We believe in this ministry that we have to give women recognition, especially, as you mentioned, in those areas where it's not traditional or even cultural to see some of these women get involved, and especially making a career of such. In the area of firefighting, there are a few women who are involved. Congratulate Ms. Eldora Dativa Chacon Rubio from the National Fire Service of Belize.
As a fire safety officer, Rubio's job is to educate students about fire safety. She also leads fire marshal trainings as well as fire safety inspections to help keep businesses and other public places safe. Rubio's career is an example of how she has broken barriers and forged a path for other women in what's a traditionally male-dominated field. To date, it's one of the most rewarding experiences of her life.
Second to having my son, this is the best decision I've made. I wouldn't change anything, even the challenges with the guys, I think they made me stronger. They made me more dedicated to the job. Their behavior towards me, or when I first started, actually pushed me to prove to them that I could do the same thing that they can do. So I wouldn't change anything, because going through that actually made me be the person I am today.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available in both text and streaming video at channel5belize.com. You can also connect with us on our Facebook page at News 5 Live. I'm Marlene Cuellar. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, please remember to wash your hands, keep your social distance, and stay safe. Good night.